kill it. I was meant to win. I am down and willing, so I will find a way. It took a minute, now it didn't happen right away. When it get hot in the kitchen, you decide to stay. That's how it winners made. Stick a fork in the hater on my dinner plate. I walk into the fire like it's just a bit of flames. I switch my style up, watch the money pile up. I'ma get rich with life.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Clydesdale Media's podcast featuring the athletes of the 2024 CrossFit Games semifinals. And we are here with CrossFit Games athlete, Caroline Stanley. How's it going, Caroline?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. What's it sound? How does it sound when someone calls you CrossFit Games athlete?
It's still kind of like different because I guess I've always ever since I started CrossFit, I've always wanted to go to the games. So now actually making it and then people saying CrossFit Games athlete, it just kind of like doesn't seem real.
Well, it's real. You went last year. You even made it past the first round of cuts in your rookie season. What was the goal last year? Was it to get further than that, or realistically, did you think that's where you would be?
I guess going in, I didn't really have any expectations considering it was my first CrossFit Games. I wanted to make it past the first cut, of course. I mean, everyone does, but I guess going in, I didn't really have any expectations, so I was just going out there doing what I knew how to do, and whatever happened, happened.
I listened to your interview you did with Kat 2 years ago when you were getting ready for Granite Games. And we're going to dive back to that a little bit because you had just graduated from college. You were going to your second semifinal at that point. You said on that interview that you were not an endurance athlete. And then I look at your games finishes, and your three best games finishes were the bike, the 5K, and Helena.
I know. I don't honestly. I guess I've been really honing in and trying to work on endurance and this, that, and other. And I guess when I talked with her that year, I didn't. I think that was my senior year. I guess I just graduated right before going to Granite Games, and I never really had a coach. I just kind of followed programs, did what I wanted to do, or like didn't want to do. Not really didn't want to do, but like kind of just in and out, like not specific, like someone structuring me, I guess. So after the Granite Games is that second year, is whenever I got in contact with Jarrett, who's my coach now, and so we started working together, like a month or two or so after that season or whatever.
So are you a different athlete? Were you a different athlete at the games last year than you were 2 years ago going into Granite Games?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. I found it fascinating. I wasn't doing it to call you out. I found it fascinating that you had improved that much in something you thought was your whole in a year.
Right. It really makes a difference having someone to really structure you the way you're supposed to be and following a plan and talking with them about strengths, weaknesses, what we want to do, what we don't want to do, and whatever, instead of just kind of going with the flow and everything. I think one-on-one individualized programming is definitely beneficial.
Before we get into Jarrett, because we're going to do that, when you were at the games, what was your favorite event to compete in?
I would say the Helena was probably my favorite event.
So I was going through your Instagram, and your Helena picture is the coolest. Like, everybody wishes they had a picture that cool.
Yeah, that was a really fun event.
Do you ever frame any of these pictures, or Are you in such a digital age now that you just leave them on your phone or your laptop?
I don't have any. I mean, I don't have any framed personally, but like my mom, she'll print them out and put them all over in like the fridge and this, that, and the other.
Would you ever like frame your jersey with like a picture and
Oh yeah, I would definitely do that.
okay. I just thought that was a really cool picture. And while we're here on Instagram, I have a big question to ask you. And
Okay.
one, I know the guy who took this picture, by the way, and he is one of the coolest cats in the CrossFit space. BAW Media is just he's one of the best. So I like featuring his stuff anyway.
Oh yeah, he's a good person too.
He is so much. I want to know what this is. You're front squatting someone doing a handstand. Was that something Jarrett programmed?
No, he didn't program that. The It was actually the girl doing the handstands idea. She was like, "Let me see if you can do this to me," and I was like, "Okay, I'll give it a shot."
Well, you did it for reps. Did you ever doubt yourself?
No, I mean, it is like I guess it's awkward, but I mean, my front squat max and is way more than what she weighs. It's just I guess a more of a balance thing.
Yeah. And then does do her shoes stick to the wall or not?
No, she just has regular shoes on. No sticky nothing.
So I just thought that was funny when I was looking. The weird stuff that CrossFitters do in a gym when they're left alone.
Yeah. Jarrett definitely wouldn't program that for me.
What did he say when he saw it?
I'm not sure. I think he would just say I'm crazy because I do crazy stuff all the time, and he just don't get hurt on me.
Yeah. Don't get hurt, but have fun.
Right.
Right. So, so let's talk about Jarrett. Why did you pick him as your coach?
Honestly, he kind of reached out to me. Well, so at Granite Games, a guy he was there, but a guy that who I was there because the owner of College Hill, she knew a guy that was there that his name was Dan that went to comp train, and he actually is the one that told Jarrett about me, and then Jarrett reached out to me, and we got on a call and went through that whole little spiel. But
And did you know right away that he was the
oh
one?
yeah. Oh yeah, when we got on the call and just how invested he was in this sport like and athletes even just like outside of the gym as far as like just what they do, their outlook, like invested in not just like what I'm doing in the gym, but also like how I'm feeling about it could be anything, like just a random Tuesday or like just he cares about you as a person as well as an athlete.
Every time I have him on, and I'm sorry I have a frog in my throat these last couple days from talking so much.
You're fine.
Every time I talk to him, he is so not consumed with the leaderboard that if I ask him questions about it, he always tells me his philosophy about why I shouldn't care about that.
Yeah, he's a good guy. I got the best one out there.
Yeah, he's the one that taught me the phrase comparison is the thief of joy, and that like you shouldn't compare yourself on the leaderboard. You should compare yourself to yourself. Is that what you're looking for in a coach?
Oh yeah. I mean, it doesn't like, I obviously care about, I mean, I care about the leaderboard. I care about this, that, and the other. Like, I'm very competitive, but like, he keeps me like, even if I do not have a good workout, not have a good day, not this, that, and the other, he still keeps me like, I guess, still in a good mental spot and everything. Cause, um, CrossFit is just as much mental as it is physical. I feel like once you get out on the floor and everything.
So let me ask you this. When you started with him, he was a comp train. So
Right.
you become a comp train athlete. He moves to proven, you move to proven. Other than the name on the building, has anything changed for you because you stayed with Jarrett?
Not really.
So it's the same for you, just a different home location for your coach.
Yeah, I mean, like I mean, I have the privilege, like as far as me and Jared's like connection and like the way like we communicate and this, that, and the other, like nothing's changed. But like I guess I have the privilege of also being with a different community, and they're the other coaches and the athletes that are already in that, like going from comp train to proven or whatever, the coaches and the athletes that are already with proven have been very like a family or whatever. So it's nice to have that community and everything, to be able to go up there and train with them. And even though Jarrett is my coach, all the other coaches still like have eyes on me and are able to tell me, help me with this, that, and the other that I might need help with, like a movement or a workout or anything. And then I guess we're all just one little family, which is nice.
Well, and he brought Sydney and Lucy with him too. So the three of you were all at comp train. Now you're all at proven. So you still have those, but then you add people like Sydney Wells and Tia and is that the privilege you have? Like the 6-time champion is someone you get to work out with occasionally?
Oh yeah, 100%. She's helped me with a lot of things, and um, it's very useful and helpful.
Was there any intimidation when you first set foot in her house?
Not intimidation, no. I mean, they are all so welcoming and like just bring you in like arms open wide. It wasn't no intimidation or fear or like stepping on anybody's toes. Like they're all so nice and friendly, and just like we're all part of the same team at the end of the day. So it wasn't anything to be like any kind of worry or nothing in the back of my head.
Wow, because just a quick story. I was doing media at the Syndicate Crown, I believe it was. I'm kind of leaning against the wall in the media pit, and this person's asking me questions, and I look down and it was Tia, and I got freaked out. Like oh my gosh, I'm sitting here chatting with Tia. So that's why I asked the question, because even I was like starstruck in that moment, but she couldn't have been nicer. Like she wasn't
Oh
trying
yeah,
to intimidate me. I just was like starstruck more than anything.
yeah, she's super, super, super nice.
Yeah. And so I've always had great experiences with her, but like in this sport and in this space, she casts a big shadow. So
Yeah, like my first time meeting her was we met or whatever and introduced each other, and then like we just started going about like training, or I was talking to Sydney about something, and then she turned around and was like talking about my accent, and so like it was kind of like ever since that, like just like our first like time interacting together was just like we were joking and having fun, like we had known each other for a while and we had literally just met. So
it's funny because I told you before we were on the air, a lot of my wife's family is in Charlotte, and you talk just like my wife's cousin. Like if I close my eyes, that is who I would picture.
It's funny.
Because your accent is thick.
Yeah, they're like, you talk so country.
Yeah. That's fine. That's fine. And North Carolina has a different version of it than the rest of the South.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you and Jarrett go to Proven. What elements of your season have you done at Proven headquarters, and what have you done back in North Carolina?
I guess so. When they first opened, I went up there right after and just kind of like to see the facility and this, that, and the other. And then I did the first 2 open workouts at my hometown. And then I did the 3rd open workout at Proven. They had the live announcements, and then we kind of did it all the next day. And then I did quarterfinals at Proven.
Is it good for you to have that push, and that's push or support or both by doing it there?
Oh, yeah, I think so. It was very helpful.
Do they team you up with someone that is good for you to give you a push, or do you guys pick who you want to go up against during workouts, or how does that all work out?
I guess the coaches kind of just like put like little heats together depending on like the workout and like the space, what kind of space we needed, and how many could kind of go at the same time.
But you leave that up to the coaches?
Yeah. I mean, we could pick, I guess, if we wanted to.
My internet. My wife just got home from work and she probably logged in to something. So it's starting to come back, hopefully.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can hear you.
Yeah, there we go. Sorry about that. So last time you talked to Kat, you're just graduating from college. Do you work full time or part time doing anything, or are you a full time athlete?
I work part time at a small animal hospital.
Okay. And you like that?
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Is
At
that
first,
something?
I wanted to, like when I graduated with a biology degree, and I wanted to go to vet school, but I'm not really sure if I want to. Like, I like doing it, but I'm not sure, like, because I like CrossFit too, and like you can't really do both. I'm not sure if I want to go to school for 4 more years.
Jeffrey Birchfield asks, vet tech or
Yeah.
just informally help out?
I'm like a vet assistant. I don't have the actual like I guess like the license for vet tech yet, but kind of the same thing.
Okay, cool. And you love animals?
Yeah, I love animals. We have like horses and cows and everything like that, and then I have a German short-haired pointer dog.
Okay. And do you have a lot of property for the animals to run?
Yeah, so my middle brother, he ropes, like he does the head and another guy does the heels, like 2-man team roping. And so he has a Palomino that he ropes with, and then he just recently drove to Ohio and Oklahoma and got a red roam that he is training to rope as well. And then I just like have like trail road and stuff like that. And then we have like 100 acres that we have some cows on, and then we have like some land that we lease and this, that, and other to keep other cows on because we probably have about 60 to 70 head, but we just kind of like we have like Black Angus and Red Hereford, and we just kind of like breed them and raise them and sell them. We don't like slaughter them ourselves.
Okay. Do you ever? So my father-in-law used to raise cows, and he would take them to like a butcher, have them do all the work, and then he'd get the meat and bring it home. Would
So
you ever?
we've did that if like one has had a prolapse or like something like that. But as far as like normally like we just like sell them at like certain ages, like 600, 800 pounds, like kind of calves, just depending on what we have. But we will like slaughter or take them somewhere if like something happens to them.
Okay. Because there's no better meat than the stuff you raise yourself, right? Like, you know
Oh,
what that cow's
100%.
eating. It's not all the nasty stuff you get at the store.
Mm-hmm.
So I love when my father-in-law does that, because we get a lot of the meat that comes off of that.
Oh yeah, a lot comes off. We had one that we did this past year, and we just did it all in ground beef. I think we got a couple steaks, this that, and another, but like it's a lot. Like our freezer is still like stacked, and like I have two brothers, and then I still live with my parents right now, and like between all of us, like it's still like so much still in the freezer.
Yeah. I love that. I love when we get a ton of ground beef, and that's all we use when we get that. So, Jeffrey Birchfield again with a question asks, did you show FFA or 4-H at any in school?
No, I played softball whenever I was in college.
So do you know what the FFA or 4-H is?
I
It's
think he's talking about like horses.
it's
Or no, he's talking about
Future Farmers of America, and
yeah.
4-H is like an agricultural organization too.
Yeah, no, I didn't really do any of that because I played softball and that's probably about it. I was just playing softball, doing school, and working out literally my whole 4 years.
So Carolyn Prevost is one of my co-hosts on one of my other shows, and she always talks about athleticism and that it's rare to find in CrossFit, because most athletes are, when they're working on fitness, it's straight ahead stuff. And she played hockey in college, and so a lot of side to side, a lot of athleticism that you don't always see on the floor. You were a shortstop, probably the most athletic position on a softball field. Do you wish the CrossFit Games or CrossFit season would test athleticism a little bit more?
Yeah, I feel like they should, considering, I mean, CrossFit is a sport, and I think people think when you play a sport, you're athletic. I guess athletic kind of comes with any type of sport, and so I feel like yeah.
Yeah, she's a big proponent of that. And an example is Rogue always seems to throw in like an athletic event every year. Like this year it was the over under the logs, where that takes athleticism to like jump, throw your body over the log, under the log, over the log kind of thing. And she loves that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, I think the bike was kind of athletic-ish. I mean, I thought it was fun. I mean, I never really like. I guess people can like I guess train that, but I
Yeah.
had never really like I like rode a bike as a kid, so I mean I had rode the bike around like just like a couple miles like or like an hour or so like on the road and this that and other like in my hometown. But as far as like on grass, like I didn't have that. I just had like a road bike. So as far as like on grass, gravel, getting off, running or whatever, I didn't do any of that. And no practicing for that going into the games. I was just kind of like in like I was just kind of being athletic and going back to like just I guess when I was a kid, and like just I just felt like a kid out there. Honestly, it was fun just riding. I would just feel like riding a bike like it back in the good old days, and just I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's what an athlete would do, right? But the athletic part of it was the getting off, lifting it up, jumping over the barrier, getting back on. I think that's where the athleticism came in. Like
Oh
anybody
yeah,
can ride a bike straight ahead, but it's
right.
the getting off, getting on, lifting it up, carrying it. Like that takes a lot of athleticism.
I agree.
Yeah. So, so is how is life different now than it was when you talked to Kat 2 years ago? You were just getting out of college, didn't probably really know what your future looked like. Now it's kind of coming into formation a little bit.
Yeah. So I guess when I talked to her, I mean, I didn't have a coach, obviously. I was just like, I would like wake up at like 5 a.m. or earlier. I would go to CrossFit. Then I would go to classes. Then I would go to squeeze another CrossFit workout in. And then I would go to softball practice until like 6:30. Then I do homework, go to bed, basically do it all over again. And then like depending on games, this, that, and other. Like the quarterfinals, those 2 years, I did some of those workouts. We had away games or we had like that weekend. And so I did some of like I was squeezing in all those workouts, did some of those workouts at like four, like not four, like 5 or 6 in the morning before I had to get on a bus and go to like a softball game. And so like now I guess I am working part time, but I feel like I have a little more like time and commitment and energy and everything to put into just CrossFit instead of kind of running around rushing and everything like that.
This also happened. You found an
Yeah.
antler in the field, and on it, it said, "Will you marry me?" So are you
So
now engaged?
we yeah. So
How did,
we got together my um like like in the junior senior year kind of in there, and so we've been together for it'll be 4 years in November of this year.
does he CrossFit?
He works out with me, like he's a state trooper, but, so he works out with me just to, like, stay in shape for the job and stay healthy and fit and everything like that. Nothing competitive, but, just like your everyday CrossFitter.
They just started those like the service competition and the everyday heroes at Mayhem. I don't know if you heard about that.
I hadn't really heard about that.
Yeah, everyday heroes is really fun. It Mayhem is doing it. It's a program thing, and if you're in a military service or a frontline like nurse, medical field, a teacher, or law enforcement or fire, you can enter. The top male and the top female from each bracket, they're bringing to Cookville, putting them on a team like the fire team, the law enforcement team, the teacher team, and then they're going to compete against each other.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I great concept by Mayhem, and they should be applauded for that.
Oh, yeah. My, middle brother is also a state trooper.
Wow. You're all around the law enforcement.
Yeah.
You can't get away with anything.
No, which my middle brother, he became one my, junior year of high school. So he's been on a little bit longer, but he's older than Trace. But I was with Trace whenever he went through trooper school and everything like that.
Um, so Kenneth Delap says, cool and unique proposal.
Yeah, we were just like going on a walk because we walk with like our dogs or just to look for sheds or just, being outdoor a lot. So it wasn't anything like out of the normal. and he had recently bought some land that's kind of backed up to like his parents' house now, and so we were just on a walking from like his house around. There's like a trail or whatever to his land, and then like once you get on his land, the hill kind of rolls, and so we were walking, and there was something like shiny in the field, which was the antler, and like I went up and got it, and then turned around, and he was on one knee, but then like but our families were like over the hill, so they could kind of see, but it happened so quick and everything. So, but they were all there as well.
That's really cool. And congratulations. So
Thank you.
is there a date set, or are you guys just waiting till after the season to kind of sit down and talk about it?
It'll be next year, in September of 2025.
Okay.
So I have a lot of time to plan.
So I want to finish up with just a couple questions going into semis. So you'll be in the East. You got allotted 11 spots, I think it was.
Yeah, we did.
Last year you took 10th. Is there any trepidation about like where you were on that line, or are you more confident this year going in than last year?
I'm definitely more confident this year than last year. I mean, last year I had never made it, so I mean, I was confident in myself, but I hadn't did it yet. But this year, I feel like just my I'm more fit than last year. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's such a stacked field, and for you to come out of that last year, so impressive.
thank you.
The workouts have been announced. I'm sure you know them by heart now. Is there anything in there that you really like?
I mean, I like them all. There's nothing really. I don't know. I mean, I like them all.
Yeah. What I like about them is they all have like an element of one facet of CrossFit with another facet. Like you have to be balanced in your abilities to be good, because clean and jerks are matched with a run, and row is matched with a handstand walk, and like everything has, it's like I keep calling it the yin and the yang.
Yeah, I think it's very good. Like you can't just be good at one thing. Like they're like you just said, it's paired with like a strength that's paired with a cardio, or like a gymnastics is paired with this. Like you have to. It's going to show the all around fit or better athlete at the end.
You had your games experience last year. When you make it this year, we're going to say when you make it this year, it's going to be in Texas in a big, huge arena and mostly indoors. Are you excited about that?
Oh yeah, I'm excited to go to Texas. Uh, but as far as the indoor, outdoor, I mean, I only had one experience in Wisconsin, so I'm not really too opposed or not, or like have a lot of opinions on it.
Yeah, it's going to be different, and nobody really knows what that means. It's a much bigger like arena than the Coliseum, so they'll probably be able to do more indoor than they could. And there's still going to be a little bit out there. There has to be. You have to test athleticism outside, right?
Right.
So, like, you can't do a bike race inside the arena. You can't do a 5K inside the arena. So,
right.
yeah, one or two events have to be outside, right? I hope.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Well, Caroline, I want to thank you so much for jumping on with us. This has been really fun talking to you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and congratulations on the proposal. And
Thank
hopefully you can celebrate that with a bid to the CrossFit Games in just a couple of weeks.
That's the plan.
Oh, thank you everybody to the chat for being here. You guys are awesome as always. And we'll see everybody next time on the Clydesdale Media Podcast presents the athletes of the 2024 CrossFit Games semifinals. Bye, guys.